Okay. Thank you. So we are 5 minutes in. Let's see what we can do. So because of how short this session is, I kind of structured this. So I'll just ask you a couple of questions. I have a couple of questions for you. You can ask me questions too. I would maybe in a few minutes review your CV and portfolio if you have those. Answer questions you have, then I can tell you what the next steps would be. So can you just start with introducing yourself? Just tell me what you used to do, what you are doing now, what you intend to do in the future, let's say 2023, and how I can help you, stuff like that.
My name is Odufa. So the full name is Odufa Agba. That's my first name and my last name. Yeah. Before I used to be a business development manager. I studied forestry, and then when I came out, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to use this degree to do. So I first entered into customer service, client relationship management rather, and moved up to business development. But currently, I'm a product designer at Thank You Cash. And hopefully in 2023, I want to be well vested in product design because I see it as something I'm really interested in. And probably in 10 years' time, to have investor money.
That's why investors' money. What does that mean, Ejo? What does that mean exactly?
Do you watch Shark Tank?
Yes. I watch more of Dragons Den. Okay. But yeah, I watched a few Shark Tank.
So, Dragons Den, Shark Tank, those investors, they don't necessarily have companies or anything, but because they've done a lot in the past, and now they have plenty of money, so they're just sitting around there looking at people who are pitching businesses. So that's what I want to
do. So you want to be bastard rich, really?
Exactly.
All right. Okay. Go on. Anything else? So I didn't really get it clear. What do you say you want to achieve next year? I'm trying to take a note.
Okay. Sorry. So next year, I want to be really vested in product design.
What does that mean?
So over the last year, I realized that behavioral economics has like a part to play in product design, the arts of behavioral science. So I'm looking to get a degree in behavioral economics and enhance certain skills in product design. So skills like interaction design, visual design, and user research.
So you want to get a degree in behavioral economics and enhance your skill in, I heard visual design. What was the other one?
Interaction design.
Interaction of visual design, okay. Noted. Wants to have investor money. Okay. All right. That's cool. So do you have your CV and portfolio here?
Yeah.
Okay, can you just send it maybe in the chat? The link. Let me have a look at it. And while you're fetching those, how's your work been in Thank You Cash?
Overall, the work has been great because I've seen great progress from where I started to where I currently am. For instance, what I was designing in, say, February, March, that standard no longer applies to the standard of my design now. So it's been like a very exponential growth. I remember recently I did a design for our new landing page, and it was like, this makes a whole lot of sense. Like, why why didn't we use this? And I think even our apps I redesigned.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hope the background noise is not stopping you.
Oh
Give me a
no,
minute.
I can hear them, but it's fine. I can hear you clearly.
Okay.
What is that? Oh, I opened your website. Okay. You're muted now. I was freaked out. So it's thank you,
I
Kashi.
think that was a recent addition by the tech team.
Oh
But
my.
there's
Please tell them it freaked someone out. Like it freaked me out. Like I don't like opening websites and then audio or video just starts. It can really confuse me because I usually have a lot of tabs open. I mean, oh my. Yeah, please help me give your team the feedback.
yeah, that's a very bad user experience. I don't know. This is what happens when devs decide they are product designers.
Yeah, that happens. That happens a lot. That's one of the reality of things, especially in companies that are not design led. Yeah. Anyway, okay, cool. Let me have a look at the link you sent to me. Let's see. Okay, so this is your CV. What about your portfolio? Okay, I see it at the top.
Yeah, so I think that's the Behance link.
Mm.
So yeah.
Okay. Are you trying to get another role, another job?
Yes, I am. So recently I've been thinking about working in places like Instagram and WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah. So and now I'm realizing that there are things I need to do. Like
What do you
more
think
things.
you need to do?
Okay. So focus on user experience, like very innate focus on user experience. Because I don't know if you noticed WhatsApp, the releases they make, they're usually small. And if you have a big account, then you're able to test. And from that test, they know if this feature, if it's worth it, if it's not worth it, if it's a nice to have, a must to have.
Yeah.
So that's even WhatsApp, they roll out features like small by small. So they are testing usability, they are testing if the market is going to accept all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, those are things I need to start doing.
Okay. Okay. So have you been applying to any roles recently? Any other job recently?
Okay, so I applied to some, but they never got back to me. Like Flickr, yeah, Flickr. I can't remember. Okay, yeah. Also Reliance HMO, Reliance Health.
Reliance. Okay. All right. So you've been applying to other roles. So you said they've not gotten back to you. You mean, have you gotten any interviews, or just no response at all yet?
No response from Reliance. It was a rejection email, but
No.
from the rest it was like no response.
Okay, so what kind of companies have you been applying to aside from Reliance? Nigerian companies or international companies?
Nigerian companies.
Okay, no responses yet. Okay, that's fine. So let's see what else. So these roles you've been applying for, have you been using cover letters?
No, I haven't.
No cover letters. Okay. Where would you say your strength lies in UX design? I mean, what part of UX design would you say is your strongest?
So I want to say user testing, which is something I really love doing, but I've not done user testing for Thank You Cash in such a long time. Personal projects, yes, or other personal projects, yes, but Thank You Cash, no. And that is, I do have a strong point with architecture. Yeah,
Okay.
information architecture. That's something, because it takes a lot of thinking. You have to think about, okay, if they come here, where are they going to live? How are they going to live? Where should they be able to access? All of, yeah.
Okay, cool. That is fine. Okay. Let me see. Let me quickly ask my other questions before I comment on what I've observed. So, where would you say you see yourself? Are you junior, mid, senior, designer?
Because I started product design last year in March, it's just like a year and a few months. So that should qualify as junior. Well, depending on the work I've been doing and like how fast, at startups, everything, iterations are fast. So you're just moving and moving and moving.
Yeah.
So because of all of that, I see myself as a mid-level designer. But based on years of experience, that's
okay. Oh, hello. Let's see. Would you say that you're a creative person?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because I like thinking outside of the box. And if we are to think inside the box, I think the box can be turned inside out to explore other places.
Okay. My last question for now would be, what is your salary expectation?
My next salary expectation should be 350,000 naira.
Okay. How much are you currently earning, if you don't mind sharing?
Oh, I don't. Net is 169, while gross is 199. 199 something.
Okay. All right. That's fine. So let me tell you what I've observed. So firstly, before I started, so what I've been trying to do is more of like diagnosis, trying to, like a doctor, trying to understand your past, your present, and how it's maybe I could help with achieving the future you want, because I know I can't help everybody. So that's what I've been trying to do. And some things I've observed is, firstly, when I ask you a question about your level, junior or mid, so your response is something along the line of explaining how you just started design last year and then your experience, and also nobody cares when you started design. Nobody cares. So you might see in job, I know you see in job descriptions sometimes, we want 3 years experience, we want 5 years experience. In the real sense of it, they don't really care about how long you've been doing it, but what they care more about is the quality of the projects in your portfolio. So if you've been working, let's say as a product designer for just 1 year, let me just say 6 months, and you have, for instance, 3 quality projects in your portfolio, compared to someone that is working as a product designer for 3 years, and the person has 3 projects, but maybe just 1 is quality. When they see your applications, even though they said they want 3 years of experience, they'll still choose the person that has 6 months or the person that has 3 years, because nobody actually really cares about that. Yes, there are certain things you'll learn over time, over a longer period of time. Again, depending on how very senior the role is, that might count to the team, that might not really count to the team, but most of the time, I would say 70-80% of the time, they just care about the quality of the project and what you bring to the team. Can you replicate what you've done in our team? That's just it. So just want to tell you, next time somebody asks that question, evaluate your experiences and answer that question based on your experience and your portfolio. Yeah. So now, speaking of your portfolio, so I have been glancing through it as you've been answering questions. And the first thing I would say is, I like how you structured your CV. It's really not bad. Yeah, really not bad. I don't really have too much to say about it, to be honest. I like that you wrote down the way you documented your under professional experience, the way you bullet pointed stuff out. It was not just you writing your experience, but more about the impact you had within the team and things like that. So that's excellent. Then I think what I could say you can improve on is you don't really need too many technical competence and core competence. You don't really need too much. I can see 9. Doesn't really need to be that much. 5 or 6 points, more than enough. Just choose the most important one. There's no need to say user interface design, then you have user experience design, like, well, creative thinking, then I mean critical thinking, like. So you can just reduce that. The reason is because when I look at people's CV, I try to like, what's the word, fluff. So there are some things that I call fluff in people's CVs and portfolios. Those are things that you just put there to fill up the space. So that is not good. It doesn't tell people, it doesn't actually speak well of you as a UX designer for you to just have stuff that fills up the space. So that's something I would just say to improve on. Then your portfolio, I think you have quite a bit to do on your portfolio. First thing is that you have too many projects that are not what we call high quality. That's the first thing I noticed. The reason I say that is because when I clicked on your link from your CV, if I was a hiring manager for a role and you sent me that link, you cannot tell which of the projects I will look at first. You can't know. Yeah. So I could choose the first, I could choose the second, I could choose the last. So you can't say, oh, I'm going to arrange the quality ones at the top, or I'll put it in the middle. Like, you can't calculate what I'll click on. And there's a high likelihood that I would not look at more than just one of your projects. I probably just look at one and decide what I want to decide and move on to the next, because I'm not just reviewing your own, I'm reviewing probably hundreds or thousands of other people's own. So within a few seconds, I've made my decision, I've moved on. So which means that if you have just 2 or 3 quality projects, that should be what is there. You don't need to put so many case studies just to fill up the space. Now, I understand how Behance is. Behance looks like it's more of numbers, like let everything fill up the space. I don't think I even have a Behance. Okay, I have one, but I don't know. Anyway, when I want to submit my portfolio, I always submit something I compiled for case studies. I just have it in my own portfolio and that is it. But they are very, very detailed. So a case study should walk the reader through your thought process from the beginning of the project to the end of the project. That is basically what a case study is. A case study is not just, a UX case study is not just about the beauty or style guides or just having designs. No, it's more about process. It's just about solving a problem. That's all. It could be you literally walk into an event and the chairs where they didn't arrange the place well. And then you did a bit of a research. You documented your research, your thought process. You came up with some ideas. That's ideation. Then you come up with a solution, rearranging it maybe in a creative way. That is a UX. That could be a UX case study already. Everything does not need to end in a digital solution. It's all about what good hiring managers in good companies are looking for is how you spot problems and how you solve problems. Simple. That's all. So that's one major thing I've noticed in your portfolio. I've not been able to click on. I'm not able to see one. Okay, maybe I clicked on Rent Me mobile app and I was like, okay. So maybe there might be ones that you believe are like even more high quality, but I have skipped it. I've just not been able to see it. So I would say that's something you need to improve on. And I suspect that's probably why you are not getting as much feedback as you want from the applications you've been sending out. So I would say that's my major feedback. Now, like I said, what I'm trying to do is like just diagnostics. This is one of several other sessions. There'll be 4 other sessions in January. And what I'll be focusing on in those sessions will be more of getting job. I won't be teaching people product design basics, or I won't be doing any of those. I won't be showing you how to use Figma or things like that. I have noticed that a lot of people have these skills to be able to get at least the basic skills. You've worked on a couple of projects, but being able to bridge the gap between the knowledge, even though it may be little knowledge, whatever, the knowledge you have and getting the kind of job that you want, that you deserve, is usually the problem, right? I usually ask a question. I asked you about salary expectation. And I asked that question because I like to know what people think of their experiences in monetary value. So 350 is not a bad amount, but I would say it is a very small amount. It's not terrible, but it's not what I think you could be earning. That's what I'm trying to say. So for someone that has more than a year of experience, though I'll be honest with you, your CV does not really tell me much of your experience. Even your work at Thank You Cash is not even in your portfolio. I guess that might be because of your, what do they call that thing? That thing people used to sign again. What's that thing? NDA, thank you. That might be because of your NDA, I understand, but there is still a way to document your work. There's still a way to document your work without being, without sharing private information. One way is it's not a pre-launch product. It's already out there. You can document the work you did from the beginning to the end about the part that is already out there. It's still your work. Nobody can take it from you. You're not sharing anything private. It's already out there in the world. There's nothing private about it anymore, right? Also, I think one of your projects, I don't know, one of your cases, I don't know which one it was, under the first section, I saw something about designers and you listed a couple of people's names. Heck no, get rid of it. Your case study is about you, about your contribution to the project. What you can specifically do is say your role. What part of the project did you work on? So you can say it was a project within a team of 5 people, for instance, where I did this, and this. That's it. You don't need to mention, why are you mentioning somebody else's name? You're letting other people to shine inside your own case study. Get rid of it. So if you have that in other places, remove them. Try to focus more in your case study on the research part and even the testing part. If you did testing on designs, if you took pictures of how they look like while they were testing, or if it was a remote session, some screenshots or just some evidence. Your case study should have evidences. That's just another thing. So it doesn't have to be just all text. So like I said, the session in January would be where I would be assisting with showing you some platforms that you should be on, how optimizing your LinkedIn profile, to be able to attract those kind of jobs. I used to tell people when they tell me, oh, there's no job out there, oh, we're just managing the jobs. I'm like, no, that's not my experience. It's not been my experience, and it's not been the experience of a few other people I know. And oh my, who is calling me? Excuse me. Sorry about that. So it's not been my experience, and it's not been the experience of a lot of other people I know. And well, that's because I used to say to people, sorry, my phone is not on do not disturb. Why? Oh, okay, sorry. That is done now. Yeah, so I tell people it's this because a lot of recruiters nowadays do more of headhunting than waiting for the results of vacancies. So what you need to do is to be able to set up yourself in such a way, even especially for platforms like LinkedIn, to be able to attract these people. So they would usually go on the search box and type in something maybe some keywords, and based on that, certain profiles come up, and then they message those people directly. So those people are already at the very top of the list before every other person has sent in the applications. That's what they do these days. In short, every week I get an average of 2 to 3 new DMs, except this period of time. We are close to the end of the year. I haven't been getting any now. I think I got just one last week, but previously it had been like at least 2 every week, 2 new complaints. And so not because I'm any special, I just found out that your profile can be optimized enough. So that's something else I'll be focusing on. Then your CV, if you need some cleanup, you could assist with that like that. I've already done a bit of that right now. Then cover letter is so important. It's something that I have seen a lot of people do not do, and you're one of those people. And cover letter, let me explain a bit about that. Cover letter is like your voice in the room. I mean, you have to submit your application, but you're not there to defend it. Your cover letter is what speaks for you. It's more like a pre-interview. Just like I said, just like you are applying, hundreds or thousands of other people are applying for the same role. So how do you speak up for yourself? It's cover letter. So your cover letter is not something generic or just one template to pull off from Google. It should speak about your personality, firstly, but also speak about the value you're going to bring to the team. It needs to show whoever is reading it, which is most likely the hiring manager, that you've done your research on the company and that you have what it takes to bring them more money. If it's a for-profit company, that is just what a cover letter is. So I'll be assisting with that. And mock interviews, this one is depending on how proactive you are. If you're very proactive, I would help out with some simulations. I have been in so many interviews, Nigerian interviews or international interviews, UK company, US company, I've been in so many. So I kind of have an idea of what they are looking for. So I'll be assisting with that. And then lastly would be specializations in UX design. So that question I asked you about which part of UX design is like your strength, and you mentioned user testing, information architecture. What I kind of concluded about you is that you seem to be someone that enjoys or would thrive more when it comes to things about strategy, UX strategy. And also the thing you said earlier about in the future, you want to have investors' money, that also, even though it was a bit funny, but that also pointed to what I just said now, which is that strategy seems to be something that you would thrive more in. Things about strategy, things about even management might be something you might thrive in. So I usually encourage my mentees to have a niche, something that you are more interested in within the whole UX design climb. Like the reason is because when the going gets tough, which it will, you have something like an anchor to be like, okay, this is why I'm in this field. Like this is what I enjoy the most. And I totally understand how niches could change over time. Maybe for these 6 months, you might be very interested in this, and then it might change afterwards. That's fine. But part-time is always good to have something you are that grounds you. So all that being said, this session, there'll be 4 sessions, and they'll start probably first or second week in January. I'm not 100% sure yet. And it will be a group session a very small group, between 5 to 10 people. And it's not for free. It's a paid session. It costs £100. I am not 100% sure of what that is in Naira. Maybe 80 something or 90 something K, but it's £100, maybe 120 something dollars. But I've had 1 or 2 persons ask me to help assist them with a payment plan, whatever thing. And something I was vehemently against. In the beginning, I wasn't really too interested in that, because I'm not doing it because I want to start chasing people up and down for anything, whether to even submit assignment or to pay fees. I'm not interested in that. But I had a second thought, and I'm like, okay, fine. Economy is hard everywhere in the world. So if it's something you need or someone else needs, I'm willing to discuss that per individual basis. So let's see. what else? So I will send you an email with the summary of our discussion and your next steps. Today is already the 20th. I put a deadline in the email of, I think, 24th, which is 4 days time, but we are only just having our session today. So again, it should be an individual-based conversation if it's something that you need some flexibility around. So please let me know if you have any questions, even though we are out of time, but let me hear from you.
Yeah, so thank you for the review. It's something I really needed, actually. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
With the payments for the session, I'd actually like to pay, but that will be end of the month, end of this month.
Today is 20th. End of the month is what day exactly? I know 31st is the end of the month, but end of the month is different for different people.
31st.
Oh, on the dot. Oh.
On the dot. Because people like us over here, we use cowrie-wise and then we lock our savings.
I know. I used to do that. I used to do that once upon a time, but that's true. I don't even have any savings again. Okay. Right. Okay. That is fine, but I had to be very honest with you that if I get up to the number of people that I want to close up the session for by the date I put, by the deadline, I might have to just stop it because I would definitely not want to exceed 10 people. That's very important to me. Then also, but well, tentatively, it is fine. Yes. So I will send you the email today. You should expect it within the next few hours. Maybe I'll just send you when I'm done with this call. I'll send it and you can just go through it. If you have any questions, feel free to respond. And if you know someone else, oh, that's true. Something I've never told other people. If you know somebody else that might benefit from it, feel free to forward the email to the person. Well, it might not really apply to the person because it's going to be customized for you, but then again, you can share it with other people. So, so I should expect to see you in January, right?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. All right then. Enjoy the rest of your day and happy almost Saturday. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.